What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Ripple wants to turn every e-commerce company into a crypto company. Here we go, guys. I've been telling you this for a long time. Each bank is going to have their own backend DLT, and each company and corporation can have their own token. Walmart token, Costco token, any blank token you can think of, you can put it there, right? The good thing you need about all this, as I hit myself in the face with my mic, is you need a bridge asset in between all of these assets that are going to be out here, right? Because companies are going to want to stay relevant. They're going to want to create their own tokens because that is the cool and hip thing to do. And this is a great conversation. It's about 10 minutes long. There's so much in here, guys. I'm going to stop when I can, give you my 2 cents. Let's just try to play through as much as I can to go through all of this. Let's go ahead and talk about this.
Austin Gray, Senior Reporter here at Payments. Joining me today is Brad Chase, Head of Liquidity Products at Ripple. Thanks for joining us today, Brad.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
And today we're talking about an exciting topic, crypto for e-commerce and merchant payments. And so, kind of diving right into that, what do you, see as some of the main characteristics of the current crypto ecosystem for e-commerce and merchant payments? Where is there room for improvement?
Crypto is, digitally native, global asset. So if you think about e-commerce and merchants, those are digitally native and increasingly digital ways that we use payments. Particularly coming out of the pandemic, where there's a huge shift to e-commerce globally, just growing space. And so opportunities for improvement there are leveraging this truly digitally native asset class of cryptocurrencies. And so that's both for end users, consumers that have crypto that want to start buying IT services with it, and then also the efficiencies that you get in operating these businesses. So that is kind of the underlying payment infrastructure and Rails. Crypto has that same kind of capability to simplify, streamline, and bring this technological paradigm shift to those operations as well. So it's really a twofold opportunity to improve e-commerce and merchant payments.
Hey guys, I need to ask you really quickly, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please think about doing so. We're trying to get to 14,000 subscribers before the end of the month. We're at like 13,800 and some change. With your help, I can get there. So please, 45% of you are not subscribed, but you keep coming back and watching the video. So please help me out. It's free. 80% of what I show you here on YouTube isn't actually all of the research that I'm actually doing in the background. So for $15 a month, you can become a super subscriber and get access to all of those chats, plus early access to certain videos, plus videos that never make it even onto live YouTube. So think about subscribing. Thank you so much.
You're building a little bit on that last point, about the e-commerce players and the merchants. How do crypto payments help meet their time?
So you can think about kind of this whole new kind of customer segment that's emerging. So these are the digitally native, tech savvy, people who grow up using the internet, grow up using digital, PayPal and payment services in the world. Those same consumers now hold crypto and they want to use that for payments. And so to be a player in the space and to tap into these new markets, you want to be able to accept those assets as part of your merchant or payment flows. You have luxury brands like Gucci that are starting to do that, way to differentiate, show you're kind of leading into innovation with a brand like that and retaining these audience. And really it's kind of being where the customers are, where the consumers are going to be in terms of, research shows that hold the crypto, they want to use it to be able to buy goods and services the same way that they use other assets they hold. So really having a reliable, secure way to do that, well, that's the way to be.
Awesome. And then, when you think of the ideal crypto payment experience, what are some of the characteristics needed to support this?
Part of why crypto is very appealing is this infrastructure layer, is that it's always on, globally available, 24/7, 365. And so that's just kind of a big shift in the way that legacy financial systems and Rails work. At the same time, the technology layer still needs a layer of liquidity to be able to tap into that. So you need those counterparties that are willing to exchange. You have Bitcoin, somebody needs euros. You need somebody that does that exchange and people that are being here for you. And so that's where products like Liquidity Hub that my team built at Ripple come in. So the technology is there, maybe the kind of seamlessness of integrating with exchanges, managing smart routing and treasury is there. So if you're an enterprise that doesn't want to go solve those large undifferentiated challenges, you just really want to go solve your business, crypto be a part of it. Being able to tap into these types of products lets you give that globally available 24/7, 365 maybe not have to deal with some of the kind of growing pains of crypto as a,
I want to welcome you to our first sponsor, Spartan Bitcoin Mining. I'm so excited to speak to you about them. I am personally invested in this. Let me be clear about that. And I am being paid to make this content for you. What do? They are a regulated entity that is buying Bitcoin miners and raising money to buy more and more Bitcoin miners, but they also pay monthly dividends, 80% monthly dividends to shareholders. So right now, what you can do is, if this is a project that you might want to invest in, you want to get all the information you can, talk to your CPA, talk to whoever you need to, your financial advisor, do your own due diligence here, but you're buying $1 a share, 300 shares is the minimum investment that you can make. And what we're hoping here happens is we can raise $5 million per year for this project. And a lot of that goes back into buying miners to mine more Bitcoin to give us more dividends. In the future, if this company is very successful and they go public, shares could go, anywhere from 5, 10, who knows really what shares could go for, because as Bitcoin gets more and more popular in the mainstream, this company could get bought out by a bigger company wanting to bring on a mining portfolio for themselves. So that's why I'm invested in this, because I see a future for Bitcoin, and I do see a future that these shares could be worth money in the future. Obviously, there's no guarantees, guys, so please do your own research. But Spartan Bitcoin Mining, I want to thank Greg Tucker, the CEO. He's a really great guy, and if you want to contact him under the contact us and get more information, please do. But there's some great videos on the website to help you better understand Spartan Bitcoin Mining, guys. Think if you're a company, right, we're a top 500 company globally, right? And you're seeing all of these CBDC partnerships that Ripple's been, there's going to be more and more news that is going to be coming out. It's going to be like a water wall of news that is going to be coming out, or a snow wall of news, or avalanche, whatever you want to call it, right? You're just going to get one thing after another in 2024 into 2025. It's going to be insane. I can't wait how much information I'm going to be going over, but imagine you're a company and you want to dip into blockchain, right? And you're unsure who to go talk to, but you see somebody like Ripple out here talking with Central Bank of the UK, right? Helping FedNow, talking with 30 plus central banks globally, right? I was going to start listing them off in my head, but we don't have the time. You're going to want to talk with those players, right? Because they have services already built out for central banks, and they're gonna have services built out for your company as well. So you can actually say, hey, we're thinking about getting the blockchain, we're wanting to digitize our treasury, we want to digitize some products or some value, right? Ripple is gonna have solutions for you, and that is why I'm always very bullish on what Ripple and what they're using the digital token XRP for, right? Remember, Ripple is just a company who's built all of this banking software on top of the XRP ledger, and working with Interledger Protocol and all these different things that they've tested to bring forward to the world for instantaneous settlement and payments and whatnot.
Totally. And then, when we're talking about, crypto payments, so what's the ideal time or, moment to make that purchase using this asset? And how is it different from maybe traditional or also other innovative payment vehicles? And also, where is it the same?
Yeah, so like any new technology, it starts coming from similar things that exist. So the same types of ways that you think about payment rails, the same different flows of which you have a normal payment, they map it to crypto as well. But I think the places where they start to differentiate is, traditional payments, particularly global cross-border ones, very slow, expensive. You've got long settlement times, multiple days, even months. You've got lots of intermediaries that kind of de-risk those settlement challenges, counterparty risks, and that becomes fees, it becomes friction, it becomes inefficiencies. And so, the way I think about crypto here is crypto is almost this magical public shared infrastructure that lets you get rid of a lot of that. And so now is certainly the time to start thinking about this, depending on how your business operates, and maybe just learning, but maybe actually trying to adopt these technologies. But the benefit here is, as you start to remove those intermediaries, you get more efficiencies, you get cost savings, you get both the better customer experience, but then lower cost that you can pass on to your customers.
Better customer experience and lower cost. Tell me the negative or the downside here, because there really isn't, right? The upside is like 98 to 99%. The downside is very low, right? The downside is, well, we don't have regulation globally yet, or we don't have those are the minor things that are coming, right? But the upside, guys, is we need to be focusing on all of the great new ways and innovations that these banks, these companies, this innovation will make our lives better and help that money flow across borders.
Yeah, I think there's some studies that show up to 70% reduction in costs by going from not traditional rails to crypto rails. Has to play out, have to see how that develops at scale, but certainly now is the time where certainly our customers are starting to use this technology in that manner. So it's certainly the time to start exploring it.
And maybe building a little bit on that idea of removing these intermediaries. What are some of the benefits that crypto payments offer e-commerce players and merchants around areas like compliance, fraud prevention, transparency, and then on the more, I guess those are all positive, but on the more positive side, how can e-commerce and merchants tap crypto payments for customer insights?
Yeah, so again, it's going to harken back to the first question we were talking about. It's truly digitally native. So if you think about compliance, fraud prevention, transparency, and insights, those are all start from having rich data that's governed, that is of high quality, that you can use to go make insights about your customers, but also make sure you're complying, finding patterns of fraud, machine learning, and all the different aspects. And so we think about crypto starting from that point, from being typically decentralized, trustless, immutable, kind of by default has this great governed audit trail inside of it. An area where the industry is figuring out is how do you respect privacy, how do you manage that in a way where different users have different needs. But I'd say at least foundationally, the technology starts from a place that enables these important aspects of running a business.
Totally. And looking ahead, what are you most excited about, and what does the marketplace need to be educated about for that to happen?
Good question.
So the Ripple, the thing that brought me here 7 years ago, and I stayed at the company, is this Internet of Value vision. The idea that you can get value of any type seamlessly around the world very cheaply, in the same way you can send an email to anyone in the world, not really having a second thought about how much it costs or how long it's going to take to arrive. And what we've seen kind of already is the adoption in, definitely have crypto assets in the manner that we've been talking about, ways that people are trying to use them. But there's increasingly tokenized assets. So that's using the same core technology, we're bringing other assets that are not native to the blockchain, representing them. That's a thing like a stable coin, already being adopted in private payment use cases. But then you can think to other tokenized assets like real estate, gaming tokens. And, one way to use those things well and kind of enable the internet value.
I think he had a bigger list in his head, but he just stopped at real estate and gaming tokens. It really is endless, right? You got your stocks, you got your bonds, you got your derivatives, you got your equities. All that value is going to be tokenized. You can tokenize debt, right? There's $300 trillion in global debt. Tokenize that value. Might as well throw it on a blockchain. Let's get it. It really is endless to the value in the world that can be tokenized, right? What it is, guys, is if you're new to the channel, if you're new to crypto, that's fine. So you're going to have something called a digital twin. So you're going to have whatever the asset is, art, real estate, bonds, stocks, whatever it is, you're going to have a vehicle in the real world that is that value, right? Which is the unit that I live in Honolulu could be tokenized. And then when it is sold, it can be moved to the next owner. And some of those things can be freed up and can move a little bit quicker, and that value can move quicker. But you have a digital representation that lives on a certain blockchain or an infrastructure of a blockchain, DLT. That is what we're talking about, having that digital twin, okay?
There's interoperability between these assets. So at Ripple, this is why we have a product like Liquidity Hub, where you need a way to be able to exchange an asset from one type to another. When you have that interoperability layer, now you can start moving, flowing freely. It's the same way that you saw this Cambrian explosion, the internet, enabling new types of business, new types of capabilities. We'll see the same thing here. Education is certainly key as part of that. I'd say same way that you had to educate yourself on the internet, IP protocol, HTML, and all these things, a similar education that will happen here to the point where nobody asks if you're an internet company anymore. Everyone is an internet company. I see a similar thing happening within finance, probably outside too, where are you a blockchain company? No, it's like that'll be part of your strategy. So certainly learning these technologies, learning how they work together is a key part of the adoption. But I think that's the exciting thing here. When you have the technology that's shown the promise, now you've kind of taken the kind of rough edges, the first version, where now we're building products like Liquidity Hub where enterprises can lean in and adopt this. I'm excited to see how different companies and industries and spaces really, use it to make a mark and improve the experience for their customers.
Me too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great note to end on. Thanks so much for your time today, Brad. Really enjoyed the conversation.
Likewise. Thank you.
That was a great interview, guys. A lot of really good information came out of that interview. I gave you my 2 cents. If you want to join the community, guys, there's Kryptonaires, there's Super Subscriber. There's multiple ways that you can support me and the channel and your growth at the same time. I'm here to help educate you on the future and what's to come. If you are learning, if you are having fun, please let me know with your likes and your comments down below. Thanks, guys. Bye.